Hi, this is Jeff Lesher with What's the Point? And this probably is something I should do every week, but this week in particular, I'm going to issue a warning before I jump into the point, which is this point likely will cause a reaction that hopefully leads you to better, more productive action when it comes to selling what you need your people to buy in order for you to succeed. And that is the rapid and incessant inundation of us with false equivalency, with flat out false, which combined breed failure. So what's false equivalency? I'm going to rip these from the political and social headlines around us because we all know what I'm talking about and we all have a feeling about it, and we need to get into the right zone of understanding of what we're doing when we take certain positions on these points. False equivalency. That is saying all politicians lie. So therefore, George Santos, an elected member of Congress based on his fraud of saying he went to school where he didn't go to school, he worked where he didn't work, and he isn't even who he says he is in a number of really important ways, that's the same as a politician who claims credit for passing a tax bill, for example, that they say saves money and others say costs money, or they say saves billions of dollars and maybe saves millions of dollars. Is that somewhat untrue? Certainly argued academically, yes. Is it the same as making up the entirety of your history? No. And when we say all politicians lie, and then they all lie, so I'm going to choose to believe what I believe, etc., that's dangerous. That's false equivalency. Now, just flat false, let's look at the hosts of the very popular Fox News channel programs who, in their own words, what they wrote and what they said, revealed that, in fact, as is in fact true, there was no election fraud, or certainly fraud anywhere near the level to change the outcome of the presidential election in 2020. They knew that. They acknowledged that. They don't like the president who was not reelected. But then they went on the air and they said exactly the opposite because it suited their business interests. That is false. False equivalency, pretending two things are the same when they're not, and false, which is just flat out lying through your teeth. And when that happens, or people sense it's happening, they ought not, and in fact they do not, buy in and choose to support you over time. We're seeing the erosion. The guy could end up getting the nomination, but we're seeing the erosion in terms of polling when it comes to the former president and various other people considering running against him, that the former president does not have the same level of support that he once had. Now, why that is exactly, who knows, but by their own words, many of these people are saying, too much baggage. Too much storytelling, too much, things that we need to move on from. So for you, in running a credible organization and expecting and needing your people to be wholly bought into what you're selling, you cannot falsely compare. When you hear somebody say it's just like when, it's often so not just remotely in the ballpark of just like when. Stop saying that. Tell us what it is. Tell us what we want it to be. Tell us how we're going to work together to get there, and be honest about that. Get away from false equivalency and absolutely false, and that'll help you get away from breeding failure, because that is the point.